What up, party people? What up, YouTube? This is Chef, New Zealand Murder History Podcast. Check this out. We're not going to do a full scripted show today. We're just going to do a short bit about Stan Graham that's going to carry on from the last episode I made. So Stan Graham was a Pākehā farmer. This is just a quick recap for those who didn't see it. Basically, in the 8th of October 1941, he shot 4 cops. Their names were Edward Best, Percy Tulloch, Frederick Jordan, and William Cooper. And yeah, he went off into the bush and he was fighting guerrilla warfare. They sent in the National Guard. It was completely insane. And he ended up shooting 2 of the National Guard as well. I think he shot 7 people in total. Well, he did. Anyway, he shot the neighbour's farmhand as well. Henry Grocott, I believe it was. Anyway, I heard a lot of things about Stan Graham, and this is what I want to tell you, but I'm not saying that this is what happened. This is what I heard happen from Hokitika locals. So, yeah, this one bloke in particular told me this story. Basically, what happened was the police never really wanted to jump Stan Graham and take his guns off him. That was never the plan. They were supposed to negotiate with him. They knew Stan Graham was a boxer, and he was a crack shot with a gun, heavily armed. The last thing they wanted to do was get into an altercation with him on the Graham farm. But they went up there with the strategy in place to talk Stan down. But Stan was angry because of this row he'd had with his neighbours. And then, yeah, the police went to take his guns off him. But they were never supposed to actually try and jump Stan Graham. So what ended up happening was there was this young cop. I've looked this up and I can't figure out exactly who he's talking about, so I don't want to say the wrong name, but basically there was one of the 4 cops that I was just talking about had only been on the Hokitika police force for 2 weeks, and he was trying to be like the young sort of tough guy rookie cop. So he tried to jump Stan Graham, and basically Stan Graham clobbered him, and he was the first, I don't know. This is just a story I heard, but I heard that he was the first cop that got shot. And then after Stan Graham had shot one of the cops, he shot the rest of them. So it doesn't really necessarily paint Stan Graham in a much better light. Like, he's still a cop killer and he's a pretty violent individual. But yeah, it was more or less just a mistake that, he didn't actually set out to kill the cops. It was it was an armed standoff that, basically one of the cops tried to jump him and he clobbered him and shot them all, is what I heard. So that's not in the literature that you'll find online. And I don't know. I don't know what happened on that day, 8th of October 1941, but basically, there's a lot of different stories you'll hear. A lot of people are actually quite pro Stan Graham. He was quite a likable guy. Most of the time, I guess. And yeah, people did like him in the local area. He was also friends with the local Māori tribe, with Tainui. And yeah, he had a lot of, supporters as well as people who didn't like him. So it is hard to know exactly what happened, but yeah, I just thought that story was kind of interesting. Thought I'd bring it to you. Because, it was such a low-profile mass shooting as well. Like, no one knows about it. And it's our worst ever police shooting. I'd like to go back there and do some more filming around behind Hokitika Gorge and stuff. It's cool up there. Yeah. So yeah, over here in sunny Nelson, there's a big suburb. It's called Stoke. It's massive. It's huge anyway. We're in Stoke right now, but not really, because the valley that I'm in now, just the small little valley here, in Māori is called Ngā Whātu. Now the old Māori suburbs, they don't link up with the Pākehā suburbs, like the map doesn't fit over the other map, so this Ngā Whātu doesn't mean Stoke, it just means this valley here. But Stoke itself is huge. It goes, there's like different areas of Stoke, you know, there's like Monaco, I don't know, kind of Ainsbrook, but then that sort of starts to become another suburb. I think down there is like an industrial zone. It's a huge, massive place. But anyway, where we are right now, this is called Ngā Whātu in Māori. And there used to be a psychiatric ward here. Locals say Ngā Watu, but the proper Māori pronunciation of this place is Ngā Whātu, and it was up there. You can't see it from here. Even if I drove all the way out to the end of the road, you still can't see it. I think some of the buildings are still up. But there was a fire a long time ago, and most of it, I think, got demoed. It was possibly still getting demoed for a subdivision or something like that, but it was just up there. It was called Ngā Whātu. Apparently it was a really bad place, eh? There was all sorts of, I don't know exactly what went on up there, but it was not so good. And yeah, there's an old pool up there. I could drive up there and show you guys. I'll do it another time for another video. I'll try to find some info about it. Be kind of cool. Yeah, it's a nice little valley anyway. Have a good one, everybody.